And we're back. This is the second part of the photo editing multi-part series that I'm publishing for beginners using Photoshop. And this time we will work on the eyes. We have already created a new layer for that and named that eye. Let us zoom in a little bit using Alt and the mouse wheel. Make sure you click on this color icons and you can switch the foreground and background colors by pressing double arrow or X. Now we will activate the brush tool to work on these skin sections below the eye. So I use black now to see what's happening. We need to decrease the opacity up here. Let's try around 20%. And this is what we want to have. But we want to change the blending mode to soft light and this effect applied compared to the original. So I'll go over these areas and darken them a little bit on the right side as well. Depending on the image that you're using, you will find the very exact same that I'm using here via the description link below. But if you use a different one, you might want to work with the white color and lighten up these sections a little bit. And here as well are some parts that deserve a little bit of lightening, so I'll switch the colors. Now white is my foreground color and the opacity is still around 20%. Especially when you're working with male photos, you shouldn't overdo it, otherwise it's going to look very unnatural, and most of your photos aren't for fashion covers, so you always want to keep in mind that the images should look natural. Alright, next method we want to use is an adjustment layer curves. And it already has a layer mask. Press Ctrl I and it will be inversed, so we've got it completely dark. And now we want to paint with a white color and a full opacity of 100% over the sections that we want to adjust with the curves. So this is what I'm painting right now on the left side and on the right side as well. To show only the layer mask, I hold Alt and click on it. So once again, this is what I've now painted. And this will be the only thing that's adjusted by the curves. Let me activate that once more and I'll increase the feathering. You see what's happening. So it gets a bit blurry on the edges. Now let's adjust the curves. I overdo that so that you can see what's happening. But let us go through the different color channels, starting with red. And we want to increase that slightly. If I overdo it, I'll get this effect. So I want to add it just a little bit, not much. Same for the green and the blue channel. Just try it out, see the effect in the extremes, and then only adjust it slightly. Alright, it's fine. And the RGB channel on top of it, just slightly. It's a minor detail. So here's the comparison with and without the adjustment layer. And we can play around with the opacity here as well of the layer, but I don't want it to take away too much. Just a couple of percentages. That looks fine. Let's go back to our eye layer and we'll give it a filter, a Gaussian blur. Just a couple of pixels. A small detail that you might want to add. So let us open a new layer and now use the spot healing brush tool. A couple of these wrinkles we want to keep. As I've said, male photos, they need that, especially when you're working with adult males. You don't want to get rid of all the wrinkles as they add to the character of the photo. I'll add the healing brush tool on top. I'll hold Alt to give it a reference point. Alright. we want to keep that as well. So the next step is to enhance the eyes slightly, and we'll use the lasso tool for that. But first let us open another adjustment layer, which is hue saturation, and I'll press Ctrl I to inverse the layer mask once more. So now it's completely black, and I use the lasso tool now to select the eyes only. Make sure you've got this one activated, it will add everything to your selection. So if I missed a part like here on the right side, I'll just draw over it and it will be added to my initial selection, and here on the left as well. That's fine. Now use the brush tool, make sure white is a foreground color and then paint over it. And the opacity should be at 100%, so don't forget that. So here's what I drew, and I'll increase the feathering here as well. So let me show you that as well. I'll hold Alt, click on the layer mask and increase the feathering, maybe even more. Should be good. I'll press Ctrl D to deselect it, and now what I adjust with the hue saturation adjustment layer will only be applied to the eyes, and colorize that, and you can see that very clearly. I'll deselect the colorization. I add a little bit of saturation and lightness, and maybe I'll go a little bit to the right when it comes to the hue. So here's the difference between the original armor we've just added as an effect. So it makes the eyes a little bit more vivid. Make sure that your top eye adjustment layer is activated. Hold Shift and click on the bottom one, then press Ctrl G, and you've got them all grouped into an eye folder. And that's everything I wanted to show to you in this video. There's much more to do with this photo, and we will tackle that in the next video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.